What's poppin', everybody? Sceptile 94. Gonna be playing some more games with Gardevoir GX. Gonna be playing against the one of the newer decks that's been seeing it saw quite a bit of hype, at least from what I noticed on the TCG Amino and just in general. The Giratina deck, the new Giratina from Lost Thunder. That, don't get me wrong, it has a powerful ability, but I feel like it can't really be used that effectively on its own. It's going to be good against specific Pokemon like maybe the Buzzwole, uh, Gardevoir deck, that sort of anti-meta deck. But against other GX Pokemon and stuff, I think it'll get overpowered. Uh, Perhaps, especially when they can heal and stuff. Zoroark GX too. So anyway, we're going to be playing first here. Get a pretty strong start, if I say so myself, opening up with EV having the Fairy Energy to get Sylveon GX out, having the Professor Elm in hand. We don't even need to use like Tapu Lele and shit. Use it on our bench space, you could say, and I'll be able to get instant 3 Rallises instantly. Yeah, Elm really helps out this deck a lot, very, very much, since it's not like we have any better Rallises with 70 HP. You would use these ones anyway. So a simple turn 1 from me, but very significant. We have the Lily in hand too. We have Cynthia. I've got my skateboard too. Another Fairy Energy. I'm looking pretty good so far. Playing first, what you want to do in a deck like this. So as I was saying about this deck, the Giratina deck, the ability that you revive yourself is always strong. These sort of looping effects are pretty strong. Not as bad as Execute, but obviously it's strong. You got to play it on your bench. And you do free damage too. And its attack, it sucks that you hurt yourself. The plan is, I guess, is that you hurt. Well, no matter what you hurt is gonna suck. But something like Giratina, that if it dies, you know, you're gonna revive it anyway. But just mono Giratina with a bunch of Malamars, I don't know. I really don't see being that good. Uh, okay, and my opponent ruined my hand with that Marshado. I'm probably gonna make a video rant about this card because it's becoming quite a bitch. It's been a bitch for a while, and I was always iffy on it, but I think I'm gonna finally talk about this red card and similar cards because I think they're not good. Anyway, I'm gonna attach the. Let's see. Should I attach a Fairy Energy or just get our KO there? You know what? We're gonna go with the KO. Attach DC. Use my Lily and take advantage of the fact that I can dish out high damage, get the sort of lead. And what do you know? We saw our Gardevoir anyway. We can use those later. Get our KO, remove one of his in case there with the Malamar. So my opponent put the heartbroken icon there because he attached the Psychic Energy and it forgot to attack. Put me to sleep basically. But you gotta consider it's only a 50% thing. If I would have woken up, it would have hardly mattered. But I mean, if I stayed asleep, maybe it would have made a difference. I'm not gonna lie. But it wasn't a good play on his part anyway. Like, should have attached the Psychic Energy on Giratina, not just do this risky stuff. But anyway, we're gonna KO the little NK anyway. And he's going to be able to put some free damage with the shadow tag there. Spell tag, I think that's what it's called. It got released in DP, I believe. Yeah, boosts the ghost type attacks in the video games. It's either this or 3rd generation game, but I think it came in DP. Nevertheless, it's actually a good card. It sucks that it only works for psychic Pokemon, but I guess, yeah, ghosts are psychics. They're not like dark. I thought you actually put the damage counters on just the active, but you can actually spread it around anywhere, I think, or even choose the bench. So it's pretty cool. So he decided to put the damage on Gardevoir GX. Probably a wise thing because Gardevoir GX, I mean, actually when you think about it, all of these guys, they get 2-shot by Giratina. If anything, I guess maybe he should have tried to pile the damage on Sylveon to get an easier attack KO when it attacks. But it evolved into one of the Malamars. Played down the Mimikyu. That Pokemon is just like the idea is supposed to copy a great attack, but it's I don't know if I'd run it. I mean, I don't run it in my Malamar decks anyway, but it just seems like there's so many attacks that you can't really take advantage of as opposed to taking advantage of. Like the best thing you can do is just copy a Buzzwole GX's big attack or Lapras GX's attack where you just do like 160. In the mirror matches is much better, but you know, there's many situations where you just can't copy shit basically. Uh, anyway, and it's not like it works with one energy, it needs to. Oh well, it's still a decent tech, I guess. We're going to start powering up our Pokemon with Gardevoir there. Let's spread the energies around, and xerneas is going to be great because it's one of those Pokemon that it gives one prize to, and in one hit shots the Giratinas. Excellent. And my opponent can't really beat it easily with 160 HP, so it's going to serve as well in this game. So another free KO for me against the Marshadow there. And so far so good, we're looking good. My opponent's still kind of trying to set up here. Gonna use a nest ball, grab something else. And what are you gonna grab there? Let me check my discard policy, what we have. Get the Lunala Prism. Okay, now this Pokemon can be kind of tricky because I already have a bunch of energies in play. All he has to do is just attach a couple of his own and he can probably one-shot my Pokemon, get at least a one-shot kill or KO. Powering up the Giratina there, and what are you going to do? Mimikyu is active, you can retreat and attack, you can draw 2 cards, what will you choose? Let's see here, he should probably start putting pressure because I'm already ahead 2 prizes, and even though his guys only give 1 prize, you can't really, you don't want to go so far behind. I mean, that's actually the point. If you're at a decent speed, you're going to outpace me since my Pokemon give 2 prizes. But anyway, he promotes Giratina, the smart play to do. You don't want to draw cards, and does 130 and hits the Mimikyu there. Now it'd be great if I could actually snipe, but like the bench damage, he's going to be able to control that. I don't really have ways to hit the bench. Okay, so let's use Volkner here and get an Ultra Ball so I can bring out another Gardevoir GX here since we have the rare candy. Nice, nice. I could have gotten the Max Potion, but let's save it for later on a Pokemon that I'm going to have only 1 energy on. I don't need to be too worried. My opponent hasn't taken any prizes yet. So we're not really in a rush to try and save somebody like the Sylveon there. So let's just evolve it into you, Gardevoir GX. And I think what I'm going to do here, let's just attach the energies on, let's do xerneas or the other Gardevoir, spread them around. The maths is pretty right. With 2 energies and that guy has 3 too, that's 5. So that's enough to get a one-shot doing 150. So that's good for me. Very, very good. And all we got to do is just retreat. There's no point in me just doing 110 and using something like Plea GX. Just keeping the pressure, keep the aggressive attacks going, getting 1-hit knockouts, and eventually I should win. Unless my opponent does some tricky stuff. Like I suppose this deck can also utilize the Taburele that moves the damage counters around. So he's decided to use the spell tag on the routes there. It's probably a good thing, but I don't know. I mean, you're gonna kill that thing, then it's like you have to take 7 prizes. It depends. He probably knows I'm gonna use the xerneas eventually. Alright, so he promotes the Mimikyu again. I guess he can use that to copy my attack and do some solid damage using Gardevoir GX's attack. It's not so bad, I guess. It's not a bad trade-off for 1 prize Pokemon here. Problem is, I'm kind of too ahead. He's going to do solid damage, but still no KO. And I have a bunch of hurt dudes, so it could get dangerous if he brings out Tapu Lele, or just starts putting even more damage on with Giratina. He's going to start reviving them. There's at least one in the discard pile, I suppose. So Distortion Door, awesome name. Choosing where to put the damage on. And I mean, my guess would be to just pick the routes, and then next turn, if I kill something, you get the KO there, since I guess you decided to commit the damage counters with a spell tag. And that's what he does. Puts one on the routes, puts one on the Gardevoir that's not that hurt, and using Malamar, grabbing energies on the Giratina. I guess he's going to favor that. But probably he doesn't have the resources to instantly power up the Lunala there. So third Psychic Energy comes in, and he's going to use Guzma. Okay. Get the Sylveon GX. So I guess you're going to get that guy out of the way and start getting prizes. It's probably a wise thing to do. A lot of times when you don't have like a lot of resources in hand, just getting a KO so you can get something from the prizes, it's probably a wise thing. Alright, so you get the KO. I'm gonna retaliate once again with Gardevoir GX there. With 2 energies, it's enough to get a one-hit KO. And besides, this Pokemon is hurt from, I don't know, like the damn attack, the spread attack, or that it does, I don't know. Anyway, so let's remove your stadium too. I don't want to make your life easy. Ultra of the Moon, I know they appreciate that. With Field Blower. And what I can do here, we're going to use Secret Spring, and I guess let's just put this the Fairy Energy on Xerneas. At this point, I really don't see how I can lose. I mean, I'm going to get a KO here. If he gets another KO, I'm going to start after this Gardevoir GX dies. The next Gardevoir GX that gets KO'd, I'm going to promote Xerneas. I might even use the switch and next turn actually, and just get that guy active. But I only need to get 2 more knockouts. He has a lot of, little Pokemon there that are pretty soft. I don't need a lot of resources to KO them. The biggest dude would be Lunala, and I can actually get a one-shot on that with my own Prism Pokemon anyway. So Giratina gets revived again. Now, if you manage to use the effect multiple times, multiple Giratinas per turn, then the damage adds up. But the thing is, it's not like all of them are going to be dying every turn, unless you're removing them yourself with something like Cofagrigus. So, I don't know, maybe that deck is sort of, the Cofagrigus deck is more of a Giratina deck using that Pokemon. But that deck has other issues. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see what comes on top. I think Blazefalon right now is pretty hype. I've actually gotten one from a pack and traded it for multiple packs and stuff. So it works out for me. I would like to build the deck myself actually, but that's a story for a different day. So my opponent scoops right there, probably realizing I was going to win anyway. And it's GG. We got to win with Gardevoir. You probably only win against decks like these. You won't go far with other decks, maybe like Buzzholes and even Zeraora, all the top decks. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, share this with your friends. Zebro94, what's up?